Datin Winnie Loo, thank you so much for joining us today on the Light Breakfast.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No, it's a pleasure to see you. So nice and, keeping well at home. Do you do your own hair at home?
Basically, yes. Even when my salons are open, I'm so used to doing my own hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem for you.
It's not a problem because I like it easy. So I've been always taking care of my own hair, even when my salons are open.
Okay. Now we all know that hair salons were now asked to close, in the aid of fighting COVID-19. In your personal opinion, how badly will this affect your business now that the MCO is entering its fourth week now?
Yeah, actually, it's very unexpected because when we were asked to, remain closed since March 18, we were quite optimistic, thinking that it's just a short 2 weeks. But when it overruns to 2 more weeks and now 2 more weeks, actually, it's very alarming because you see, the hair industry is very different. It's basically very much like when our hands stop, our mouth really stop because we are service business. We really need to be hands-on to really get the revenue coming in. Basically, because we are such a large team, we sort of get very nervous about this whole scenario and really hoping that it will end soon. And having said that, we were even asked to have a chance to open, but it makes us at the same time very worried because health is also just as important as the wealth that we want to gain, right? And especially when the team is big, anything could have happened while they are coming to work, not necessary to pick up this COVID while they're at work. On the way to work and all things, then the responsibility is actually passed to the employer. If anything happened, all the medical bill, the employer have to pay. So it's actually more alarming to open or not to open. Even if we are allowed to open, if let's say if we apply and we get to be open, we also get very concerned about this whole thing.
Why? Why is it? Because when you first heard that, hey, phase 3, or we're going to allow hair salons and barbers to open, what was your first thought?
The first thought was very, very happy, very excited. And then immediately we have a discussion. We we have a lot of team meeting, even socially online and things like that. So we don't really just call each other now. We just Zoom up everybody and get a meeting going. And the discussion among the directors and the management team, we voice our concern. The concern, especially, is it worth it when the government allows us to have a chance to open, but only hair basic cutting? So it's really no point to have basic cutting when we already at risk going to work, and just to cut and wash hair was a big concern. It's like, no, definitely not worthwhile to do a basic haircuts. And especially when unwashed hair. Yeah.
So at that point, you were already thinking maybe we might not open even if the government allows us to open.
Yeah, because you see, because this was out the minute when they say we can, but immediately on the next day, we have a quick meeting before the weekend, because all applications are only applicable on Monday morning. So we were thinking, yes, we will apply, yes, no. We can still apply, but not wanting to open, right? Rather than not making a decision. So we actually did make a decision that our group will not open because we want to support the whole idea, especially on the well-being of the staff, and perhaps we would not want to create a scenario that we are open and if anything happened to the clients, we will be put into that position of blames.
That's true. So in that case, now that you have decided not to open, what measures have you taken in light of this prolonged MCO, this extension of the MCO, to keep your business afloat? Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it's really, really tough. We actually, you see, we paid all our staff even up to the end of March. We were so hoping that this ends. We literally want to go back to work today because today is the 15th, right?
Yeah.
So we really felt that today is about the last day that we are actually back to business. And now, end of April, and perhaps, I don't know whether this is going to end of April, is a very crucial time for the management. Especially because it's really not easy because expenses keep running, staff have to be paid and all things. So we definitely going through really not easy position that we are in. Moving forward, of course, we keep in touch with the team. We're always connected. We especially encourage them to have a lot of online studies. We arrange it from some of the brand company. So to keep them busy, because whatever it is, they are under our payroll. We still have the right to tell them that you have to study, improve yourself. I think this is really important because it's really, there's something not really it's like beyond our control now, So if they're staying at home, there's no excuse that they cannot check in online to learn something.
How's the stimulus package been for you when you heard that the government was going to give back some for wages and whatnot? What was your first thought when you actually heard what was going on?
Yeah, the first one was totally not for us, really, really not for us. And then by the time they said that you can get, when you earn less than 4,000, all those little
doesn't work,
details, which I do not want to really over-mention them. Somehow it's so difficult to apply to a lot of my team because a lot of my team are considered pretty well paid. They are definitely, many of them are more than 4,000 in terms of the salary scale. And it's actually, a lot of them did not fall into that package. And we still want to find out because really right now it's not so convenient. We can't go back to work. There's a lot of things that we really cannot connect back so easily. We're not going back to the office, and so thank God that they can still connect online with a lot of the team. But the government officers may not be so conveniently there. Even like the other day, the application, even their site crashed. So while trying to get some approval, hoping that maybe we can get approved. So at least the minute they open, we already have our approval. But so it's going to be really a very tough situation for not just me, I think for the industry at large.
Okay, but have you tried to apply for any of this government aid for your business?
Not as yet. We are finding through especially to our admin side, we are finding always and even speaking to the lawyers to see what is the best outcome. Not having to apply it, but we encourage all the staff to actually log on, while many of them actually do get compensated for their contributions. Some of them already applied, and many, I think quite a good number was getting some compensation there.
Okay, on their own as individuals.
You have to apply on your own. There was a link that encouraged a lot of the people who contributed to work, that they have a link to link them on to approve them. Okay.
But do you have a long-term plan, as in if this MCO is extended further? Because I know all these people in the hair industry, they work based on a basic salary and then commission as well, right? So right now they're only earning their basic salary and you are still paying them their basic salary. Do you need to give them extra aid, your staff members?
Well, when you talk about basic salary, a lot of the stylists, they do have quite good basic, really good basic. because right now they do nothing, they're not going out. It's really enough for them to survive because they don't need to even, they don't need travel, they don't need petrol, food is already at home, so basically it's enough to keep them going. Commission becomes a bonus, right? So especially in such times, even if they're not having the commission, but at least they're really getting their basic to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
But in the hairdressing industry, especially the senior team, those directors, everything, definitely they really earn a lot less,
Okay.
And some are kind enough to say that, it's about time that they should step in to help the management. We don't mind to, there are even some people who say that they really think that even they don't deserve the basic because it's like the whole month of April, they don't work. So it's like helping back the company. Some of them even volunteered themselves.
Oh, that's very nice of your staff.
Long-term, very
Yeah.
long-term stuff,
So
Well,
how many staff members do you have to take care of at this moment?
We do have quite a big number, maybe 200 plus or, that kind of thing. But
Okay.
there are quite a number of them which are very much relying on high commission to be at work. Especially it's not outsourced. We have a lot of manicurists, the reflexologists, and all these people are very high commission staff. So these are the people really badly affected, and there's nothing much we can do. Is because during the good time they opt to earn this kind of money. So because of extremely high commission, their money is really high on the commission side. But when it comes to bad times like this is something not within our control too.
Okay. So right now, Datin, you're only hoping that the MCO will be lifted after these 2 weeks. Then all of you can go back to work.
It's my dream. It's really my dream. I think it's really enough already. 6 weeks, I think, is a little bit, too long for a business to stay closed. It's really bad for overall economy. And I won't talk about we are the one who create lowering blood pressure down and also because we crowns the glory of many people. So if we are able to open a lot of people, perhaps when they have a better headache, they might actually smile better. They might be a little bit happier, right?
But I guess
there will be people who dare to come. Even though a lot of people say they dare not go, but if our SOPs and from what we want to plan, if we want to open, our SOPs will be very, very strong, and we will be very particular about all those little details that we want to, if we want to open.
Okay, so this 6 weeks, how has it impacted your business in the long run?
I think 6 weeks, you see, especially because this happened almost straight after the Chinese New Year, right? So during the February, a lot, the business have really quieted down because especially people already started to come in during the Chinese New Year season. So of all the things, this almost happened before the lockdown. It's already quieter season, right? So people already didn't need to do much of their hair in February. So normally in business, March, April is a good month. It's a good month because people somehow need to do their hair, look nice before they travel. It's like a spring holiday. So now we're really missing the peak. We're missing the peak. And our group, we also do a lot of Malay clients. So the Muslims, especially if they want to look good, they will definitely check in to do their hair for Raya. And we are missing another festive season, which will also cause a lot of concern, especially, that means we're missing out, from March to April to the month of May. It is going to be quite a difficult situation. Even by the time we open our door, there may be a little surge for the first 2 weeks where people felt that it's about time to do their hair. The situation as we look at it in weeks to come or months to come, it will still be slower.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at it as the pattern will be definitely slower.
Yeah, because it is
Maybe some
non-essential,
people, yeah,
and if
yeah,
people haven't been getting paid during this MCO, like they won't have money to go and do their hair, right? They would rather spend it on other things.
yes.
But I
But
think
what is, yeah, go ahead.
you're actually, I mean, as a chain, it's you're okay. You're impacted. How much work will need to be put in the future? I mean, like just within 2020, let's just say we end at the end of April and then you get back into business again. How much work and how much revenue has been lost? Can you recoup that just in 2020, or it's going to take a few
Now,
years to?
whatever that is lost in March, April, perhaps, let's say mid-May, for that 2 months, it's literally quite difficult to recoup back even by December, because it's a good 2 months. That means in the whole year of 2020, we only work 10 months, right? So it's really difficult to justify the whole, that means this whole year is very difficult to recoup back. And anticipating that the market will be soft till at least maybe August, September, because many businesses will not be functioning so well. So there will be a lot of people wanting to keep some extra cash for themselves. So there will be no rush on that matter. So you were asking about us. I think, yeah, we definitely, these 2-3 months is, yeah, we lose a lot of money by not being able to open our outlets. Because you see, one thing bad is like, because from a long time back, we wanted to do online, like product and all things. Even right now, we have clients who wants to buy product online. We have not been able to sell it to them. It's because we don't have a direct source of sending the product out, because all the products are stuck in the salon.
Yeah.
So
now,
is that something that you're looking at to do, online sales of your products?
in the future?
Actually,
Yeah.
we have really wanted to do that long before this COVID thing, but it was not approved yet, because you see, if you want to start, that means it's without approval of the brand company. But we really wanted the big brand company to support us, to allow it as a approved thing, rather than we try to sell some of our salon product online. We wanted it to be approved by the big brands, so then at least it become a bigger picture, you see. So we actually are in negotiation, but finally it's been approved. So the minute we get back, I think we want to just get it rolling, because I think looks like the online sales or all these things are the future of even businesses to be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't do our hair online.
Yeah,
we can't get
so
our
that's
hair
the only
washed
thing.
or blown online.
So maybe this situation, this scenario has given a lot of clients the ability to learn to style their hair a little more.
Does that scare you though? Like, what if they are so expert, they're so professional at doing their own hair?
It's actually not good at all for for us if clients become too comfortable being able to style their own hair, cut their own hair, like everyone is now showing. I'm also in the style paper, talking about they call us up to ask us what is show some. Share some tips about how to do own haircut. Is it? If you don't mind to look not so perfect, but at least take off the fringe or take off a bit of the length, it's all right. No right or wrong. So even if it's jagged or even if it's distorted, it's still style anyway. So it really depends on individual.
Okay. Now, Datin, what is your contingency plan? Like, if this MCO gets extended way past until end of May, do you have a plan for your business?
Really? Maybe the next thing is I might just have to cut some losses, give up 1 or 2 shops that is not going to work well, So I think, anything is still, I think we just have to be real, to be able to accept the reality that there's no point to say I have so many outlets and suffering,
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that you might have to let go of staff?
Actually, retrenchment is last on my list. Everyone is saying last to come in, first to go. That kind of concept running in the shop, among a lot of people's businesses, a lot of my team have been with us for a long time. We are in business for 41 years, so a lot of we do have a lot of sort of relationship. So it's not just so easy to ask people, oh, now we don't want you anymore, just because you are with us for such a long time. So retrenchment is not on our plan, but yeah, maybe we would just have to ask some staff to go on leave or or burn leave, or I don't know how it works, but we definitely have thoughts.
All right. Now, you said earlier, Datin, that you've been in business for 41 years. I'm sure you've seen lots of ups and downs with your business. Is this considered one of the most difficult times for your business?
Yeah.
For the hair industry?
I think for the hair industry, especially because we have been in business for a long time, we have seen the 80s, we've seen the 90s, we've seen the 2007, 2008, so this is one crisis which is very, very different. This is, firstly, it's really alarming. We can't open. You see, all other crises, we can stay open. So it's up to us to, how we weather it was at the same time, like how we sort of discuss with the team, do we need to give some package or some discounts and things like that. But right now it's totally different. Even if you want to give discount, you can't go to work.
Yeah.
So it's really not about that anymore. So it's actually a situation that is not so easy that you want to be in business, means you can go back to business. So if this is going to extend to May, a lot of businesses, I think a lot of industry players will really like starting all over again, and especially the new salons and everything is going to be really tough on them too, unless they are one-man show or two-person. So it's still okay because they just didn't need to work for that while, but by the time they get back to work, they still need they themselves and another assistant. But those who have the forces of at least, like, let's say 40, 50 staff and above are the one really feeling it.
So is this considered a cut above's most difficult times to weather?
I'm very honest about that. If I tell you that I am not suffering at all, I think I'm just being very boastful, you see. I can't be so prideful at this to think back, I think this whole COVID thing is really coming into the scene for people like us to really reflect back and be thankful that at least if anything happened to us, the materialistic world, we say that we can still survive it. It's painful. It's really painful. Yeah.
Okay. Have you been personally impacted by this COVID-19 virus or the MCO? Are you enjoying being at home at the moment?
The first 2 weeks was wonderful. Because I never have so much free time because I have kept busy all my life. I everyday work and all the time outside of my home. And I sort of realized that it was good. It was initially really good to have some really quiet time to read more, to pick up some of my hobbies which I have put aside, So, and it was fine. But then 2 weeks more, and now 2 weeks more. I wouldn't say I'm getting bored. I would say that, and I'm not one who keep complaining because I'm a very positive person. I still feel that there's always a ray of hope and sunshine out there, And so whenever I'm upset, I jump into the pool and cool myself down, do some laps, and after that, I feel much better. So having said that, it really impacted me to reflect that whatever it is, I still feel so blessed that I still have a home to go back to, family that I care about are still all fine, and in fact, I think back that, like I should appreciate my life better than all the people who are really right there, um, the frontliners, the backliners who are there to keep us safe. So at least I am thankful, still grateful in the sense that I still have food on the table. And in fact, it makes me more grateful in life because I have always been that way as a person. But I think this round makes me even realize that I'm blessed. I feel so blessed. Yeah.
Now, what's your advice, Datin, to struggling businesses during this time, whether they're in the hair industry or not, but they're struggling at this point? What would your advice be to them?
Yeah, in fact, so it's really difficult to give really the right advice to many people, because if I say anything, then they will definitely say, of course, because you have, you possibly have some cash to talk like that, So, because I really feel that for those young entrepreneurs, especially when they're really struggling, perhaps it's really a time that you really have to speak to your family to help if you really have to, because this is not going to be forever. You see, if you go through some rough rides in life, those challenges, it's actually making you a stronger person, because especially, let's say, those first-time entrepreneur, I know it's tough. So many people are really crying around and complaining, and also complain does not make you a better person, because sometimes, you see, maybe I would say you might as well seek some prayers or calm yourself down, because sometimes the more you complain, the more you anger even yourself. And what happens if mentally and health-wise you got yourself into trouble? You're not even able to solve the case. So staying calm is one way to keep the business going. And speak to the staff, and the staff will probably realize that if you are understanding enough to sort of like discuss with them, if I don't do well now, maybe I will do better by year end, or the business come back, and you can still discuss on giving them a better bonus when next year. So I think there's many ways to sort of negotiate. And for now, entrepreneurs just need to stay strong. There's always a rainbow after every storm. So don't give up, don't surrender, because you see, if they surrender so easily, that means they fail already. Because I know I've been through it. Every time I go through it, I tell myself, no, I will fight for it. So this one, I believe I still have to encourage those people. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
I love all your anecdotes. There's rainbow after the storm and there's light at the end of the tunnel. I like that positivity.
Yeah.
Lastly, Datin, what is your message to all your customers out there who are just waiting on you to open your shops again?
Once again, I would say I miss them all. I like to give them all a virtual hug, because I'm very close to my clients, especially those that have been with me for a long time. I do really have clients that have been with me even before I started Calabar, So clients have always been so supportive. I thank you all for being so wonderful. We are who we are because of all of you. And yeah, I also want to thank those customers who stand by us. Yeah, we did go through a lot of crises. They were there, and I am definitely saying stay safe, stay protected. I will definitely see you in the coming weeks. Yes.